Hello everybody, it's me Carmine DeStefano, the Bookman.
They call him the Bookman, his rants never end. He's angry and he's loud and he has a lot of friends. If you have Alyssa Milano's number, you can always send it to Carmine DeStefano, the Bookman.
That song don't make no sense.
Hello everybody, it's me Carmine DeStefano, the Bookman. Veering off sci-fi for just a week, let's talk Robin Hood. Because Hollywood hadn't really made many Robin Hood movies, have they? Except for... So in 2010, they decided to take an all-star cast, Ridley Scott as the director, and make another take on the English legend called Robin Hood. What happens in the newest version? Well, let's take a look at it together, shall we? Movie opens with some storyboard text giving us a little hint of the background of the story. We then open with... Who are these people? Well, this appears to be the estate of Maid Marian, played by Cate Blanchett, who's trying to fight off these... whatever they are. We then cut to some more storyboard text giving us more backdrop. And see? Alright, you already knew it was coming.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We also learn who King Richard's played by, a young striker.
Simply a patriot.
And his army, after the Crusades, is bringing about a siege on this French castle, and doing it relatively easily. Well, that's because this was your only defense.
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
We cut to the English castle, where the mother of one King Richard and his brother John walks in on John tagging a French princess. And answer it. Yes, I would. Later that evening, back at the battlefield, Robin Longstride plays his guessing game with the Blob?
The tank.
The tank.
What is this, an X-Men Origins Wolverine reunion? Where does Will.i.am fit in all this? Because of his accusations, Robin Longstride and the Blob get into a fistfight that leads to them accidentally knocking down King Richard. When King Richard asks who was behind all this, Robin steps up and takes the blame.
Are you honest enough to tell the king something that he does not want to hear? What is your opinion on my crusade? Will God be pleased with my sacrifice? No, he won't.
And this honesty gets Robin and his friends chained up together. Then we see a man named Godfrey, who's supposed to be supporting the King of England, talking with the King of France, the enemy of England at the current time. Why would he turn on his own people? Well, let's just say because he likes France during the summer. Later on, during the battle outside the French castle, King Richard is struck down. And since he's dead, Robin, doing the heroic thing, says it's time for him and his friends to escape. Meanwhile, since the death of the king, the crown has to be returned back to the castle. But the people that are doing this are ambushed by Godfrey and his French companions. Godfrey then learns who this man is.
Who are you? Robert Locksley.
Oh, Robin Locksley. Robin Longstride and his merry men attack the remaining forces and come across Robin Locksley. His dying wish is for Robin Longstride to return to his home in Nottingham and bring back the sword to his father. Before they can do that, they have to get back to England. How do they get back to England? Robin suggests they steal the armor off the dead knights and take the boat that they were headed off to in order to return to England. and bring the crown back to King John, who then decrees,
Your father, Sir Walter, owes tax to the crown. My crown.
wow, what a dick. Maid Marian is then hit on by the Sheriff of Nottingham, who is meaningless in this movie. You know how, like in every other film adaptation of Robin Hood, the Sheriff of Nottingham was like the main nemesis? Unlike in the other movies where the sheriff was the main nemesis, in this movie he's just there, then he's gone. Robin, with his company, vows to return the sword to Nottingham. When they get there, they find Friar Tuck, who likes peas and mead. Robin then meets up with Maid Marian, who takes him to Sir Walter, the father of Robin Locksley. When he tells him of the death of his son, Walter takes the sword back and invites Robin Longstride to dinner. There, he conjures up a plan.
I want you to stay in Nottingham and, for the time being, become my returned son.
Isn't that a little short-sighted and kind of disgusting? Robin Longstride then shares the bedroom with Maid Marian to act as her husband, though they don't actually act as man and wife. But they do start getting to know each other. Later that night, Robin and his band trap the king's men to steal the seeds they had taken from Nottingham back to Nottingham and plant the seeds. This is the only time you see Robin Hood stealing from the rich and giving to the poor in some way or another. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Later on, Godfrey and the French troops begin burning down villages in England in the name of King John, to turn all the English against each other and the king himself and make the French invasion a lot easier. The old advisor to the castle, played by William Hurt, informs the queen of this, who then tells the princess to give the information to John to avoid confrontation. When she does, John responds this way. Hey, good call, Mom! We then see the Sheriff of Nottingham for another few seconds, and he disappears. Maid Marian tells Robin that she never really knew her husband. They got married, and soon after he left for the Crusades. I don't know what that means, but whatever. King John then talks to William Hurt about the scenario that's come up. While that's going on, the villagers are rallying against King John, until he comes in and tries to win back their trust. Since it ain't happening, Robin comes along with a suggestion.
Speak, if you must. If you're trying to build for the future, you must set your foundations strong. The laws of this land enslave people to its king. A king who demands loyalty but offers nothing in return.
King John then claims he's going to put together a charter if they fight for him that'll make their lives easier, saying,
I give my word that such a charter will be written on my mother's life, I swear. Bullshit!
Then Godfrey takes his company to Nottingham and faces up against Sir Walter. He tells Sir Walter he is the killer of his son, and Walter bravely and blindly flails his blade around until he's stabbed in the back. Robin and his group take back Nottingham, put out all the fires, stop the slaughtering from happening, and he and Marian fall in love during all of this. But now the real problem arises as the French troops are invading the shores of England, and King John leads his troops into battle. The English fight with so much perseverance and so much inspiration, King Philip wonders if Godfrey did his job. So Robin and Godfrey fight in the water. And this battle is pretty intense, pretty long, but it ends with Robin shooting an arrow from far across the beach, right through Godfrey's neck, and killing him a la King Richard. King Philip then decides it's best to run away, and the battle is won. So King John has to sign that charter, doesn't he? No. He claims that he has power given by God and no man can take that away from him. So he's going to continue to make the people miserable by unfair taxes and claim that the impersonator, Robin Longstride, is now an outlaw.
To be an outlaw!
Oh, I'm sorry, I mean an outlaw! This just sets up the sheriff for...
A nail!
And Robin and company live out in, I guess it's Sherwood Forest, as he and Maid Marian are now in love, despite the fact that they are not officially married. And that's pretty much... Oh wait, that's not pretty much it? Oh wait, it is pretty much... I don't even know, I'm fucking confused. It's really very confusing. The plot is all over the place and nothing gets explained. It's 2.5 hours long, but nothing really happens. I mean, we see a lot of lute playing and song singing, and partying, of course, but aside from that, there is so much that they didn't describe or explain fully, you don't really know what's going on. What also bothered me was how main characters in previous incarnations of Robin Hood were basically just barely even there. King Richard was in for about a second, so he's useless. The Merry Men were never actually described or introduced officially. They're useless. Friar Tuck didn't really do anything. He was useless. Sheriff of Nottingham, he was useless. Overall, most of them were pretty much useless. Robin himself was not really a heroic character. He steals armor from dead knights. How heroic can that be? He stole someone else's identity. Yeah, he's a thief, but not a thief of riches from rich that he gives back to poor. That never even happened. You don't really understand what Godfrey's role is in all of this. Why did he turn on the English? Why is he working for the French? Nothing about this got explained. It just was sort of there. They also didn't focus on the tyranny of one King John. He was just kind of a pain in the ass, rich, spoiled prince. That's all he really was. It didn't make it seem like these people were living in poverty. They actually didn't focus on that. They were too busy focusing on parties and lute playing. But it was well acted and decently written. The actors and actresses in this movie did their best to bring out as much as they could in faceless, baseless characters. Overall, it's watchable, but it doesn't do anything to the legend, and it sure as hell doesn't explain anything that the previous Robin Hoods didn't explain before. It's kind of just like there, and they kind of just screw it all up, so if you're really into the Robin Hood legend, don't see this movie. If you can care less, check it out once. You won't be disappointed, but you certainly won't know what the hell's going on. Thank you all for watching. I have more for you soon to come, so stay tuned, take care, and have a great day.